Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today, guys? I'm also your happy realtor, just your sales guy. And today we're talking about selling. Why is selling so hard for most people? What did he say? I said, why is selling products, talking to people, getting in front of people, knocking on doors, picking up heavy phones? Why is it so hard for most people? Here's the thing that I've learned, guys. I've been in sales for a long time, and there are many people that can't deal with rejection. Rejection sucks. I mean, people can be rude to you, and they can slam the door on you. They can hang up on you. They could call you bad names. And just people do what they do because of who knows the reason why they do it. But selling, why are most people, it's hard for them? It's because, see, they don't want to have to deal with the hard work. We don't want to have to deal with the aggravation of having to find customers. I have a lead source, but I still have to go out and knock on the door. And a lot of people find that very hard because they don't want nobody to tell them no, okay? And it's hard to be told no over and over and over again, and it can be kind of detrimental to your mind sometimes, and it makes a lot of salespeople just give up and quit. I've been in sales in one form or capacity since the 80s, so that's a long time that I've seen a lot of great companies come and go, but I've also seen a lot of people who had a lot of talent leave the career of selling before the miracle. The miracle is they started selling stuff. They started getting people in their pipeline. They had people who, it just takes time. It doesn't happen in a day. You may have some people who get started and boom, they knock it out of the park, but who knows what they're saying or what they're doing. So your key thing is you want to be in control of yourself, but you also want to have a positive attitude, an attitude of gratitude, because when you get in front of a customer, that is the time that you get to shine. You get to show them who you are, and it can be fearful for a lot of people. Another problem is people have that fear of talking over the phone because they can't do nothing. People can just hang up on you, but we get scared. It's called fear, false evidence appearing real. We think, I don't know what people think. Sometimes it's just when people say no, or you call, and nobody answers, you get frustrated, you get angry until you make a sale. Once you make a sale, did you hear me, guys? Once you make a sale, then you get better and better, and you start feeling better about yourself. But don't give up before the miracle. And our whole topic for today is selling. Okay, selling. Why is selling so hard for most people? Imagine you're a person who's got a little bit of knowledge about selling, and you go knock on their doors. Well, you hope that you have a decent presentation, and you hope that you have a few minutes to actually talk to the customers. Sometimes you're just leaving cards, you're leaving flyers, and it can be kind of tough sometimes when you're not talking to people. But then what happens is if you leave a good flyer, some information for the customers, they may want to quote, they may want to get back with you. So you have to do the due diligence. A lot of people don't like having so much freedom. So much freedom means you can stay in that bed later, you can work later, you can get up earlier, you can get out later, you can just be lazy, you can just not do your job. But if that's the case, then you're really missing the big picture. We're salespeople. We work on this magic thing. We call it commission. Commission's based on what you sell and your performance of how much you sell. And it's a big benefit, especially for us salespeople, because you can make a tremendous amount of money. And salespeople, we are important and we do matter. We make the world go around. I've run into people all the time that are on the phone doing customer service and selling over the phone from home, especially these days. And today I'm in a beautiful neighborhood. I had a few minutes for a lunch, and I figured I'd just show you this cool little neighborhood, but also talk about, what goes on as being a real salesperson. I'm a real salesperson, guys. I've been in sales since the early 80s, so I can tell you I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all the things that go in between. And one of the things that I've had a problem with is I've seen with some of the salespeople is selling. Why is selling so hard for most people? Because of rejection. Rejection sucks. And then another one is people have these things that they don't understand. So what they do is they pretend they do, and then they just ignore you. They just shut the door. They treat you rudely, but they don't really want. They're probably really nice people, but they hate solicitors. They've heard bad things, and a lot of people who are salespeople, they're not accustomed to people being rude to them. They don't have a hard skin yet. You've got to get your feet wet. You have to get out there. You've got to knock on doors. You got to get those objections that come up all the times. They pop up, like, you know, they pop up. So you have to take care of them. And a lot of people don't know how to think on the fly unless you have this mentality, this mindset that, hey, I've got to be very knowledgeable about my product. I've got to know things about the location, the area. I've got to know things that a lot of people take for granted. But as a salesperson, every little thing that we can get to help our customers see the big picture and buy from us makes all the difference in the world. And I'm a salesman. I've been doing it since the early 80s in one form of capacity, and I love it. But it can be daunting, it can be frustrating, and it can be exhilarating. I love it, man. It's the only job that I have where I've got the freedom to go and work and make as much money as I want. I got a real estate license, a mortgage license, an insurance license, and I wear a lot. Oh, I even have a truck driver's license, so I can put on a different hat every day and I can get out there and sell. But selling, you know, why is it so hard for some people? Maybe they just don't like for people to say no. They don't like for people to treat them rudely, and we're afraid because of, you know, what's on the other side of that door. And mostly there's nothing on the other side of that door. You may hear dogs on occasion. You may have an angry man or a woman or a customer or a child screaming. You may have all kinds of objections. You may have all kinds of issues. And your lead sources, you know, you got to have lead sources to be able to get from A to B, to talk to people who maybe can get your product, who can afford your product. And selling and having the fear, and why is it so hard for most people, is they don't want to put the time in, the effort in. And sometimes people don't have a significant other at home, or, you know, they're not living at home and they've got to pay all their bills. So they only have a finite amount of time. And so if they don't make any sales within an amount of time, what do? They leave. They quit the business and go get a $15 an hour job, thinking that's going to be the key to success for their whole life. And hopefully they can make more money. But in sales, you can make as much money as you possibly can. And why is it so difficult sometimes? Because people don't want to get out there and do the work. It's the truth, guys. You got to get out there and knock on these doors. You see, I had a customer right down the street here. They weren't home, but I had to stop by anyway. I left my materials. Some of the people that I go to, they're not even moved in yet. Some people, they are, you got just a couple of seconds to give them your information. You hand it off and you hope that you get another chance. But some people, if they don't get that gratification every day and all the time, you know, or get that steady paycheck, it's really tough for them to be salespeople. And why do most people fear being in sales or find it hard? It's because selling is a different type of personality. You've got to be able to have a tough skin. You've got to be able to listen to people, and they will tell you what they want. They'll let you know what they want you to buy, but don't keep going on and on and on and on and not giving your customer a chance. And why is it hard for some people to sell? It's because they haven't learned the skills. I've literally got almost 1,000 different videos on everything there is to know about selling. You need to watch my channel under Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. But I'm also on Instagram under Your Happy Realtor, because I sell real estate. And one of the things that I'm finding out as a salesperson, it's tough. And if the economy's running rough, and if, you know, people are kind of slowing down, the economy's slowing down, you know, people get scared and they go jump into a job that gives them a 9-to-5, making their little money every month and hoping they get a bonus at the end of the year or the next couple of years. But in real estate, oh man, you got to do it on your own. In sales, you got to make your own money. And today I'm out and about just selling. Why is selling so hard for most people? It's hard for most people because they don't understand it yet. And once you get a grasp of understanding what sales is all about, all we're doing is communicating, building relationships, and helping people buy what they need or want or desire. And all we have to do is fit it in their budget, give them some basic information, and, you know, ask for the order. So if you're out there and you're thinking about getting into sales, it is kind of hard. It takes a little while. So if you are a person who wants to give it a try, I say knock it out of the park. Give it a try. You got to give it a try, because see, every business needs a salesperson, and every business is a salesperson. You're an owner of a business, you're a salesperson. Somebody's got to buy your service. You got to sell it to somebody. So we got to get over this fear, this anxiety, and this frustration, because it's not going to be perfect. Remember, it's a numbers game. The more people that you talk to, the more people that you share your information with, the more opportunities you get to sell. And today we had a simple conversation about selling. Why is selling so hard for most people? It's mostly hard right here in the mind. And once you get to the other side and you start talking to people and you get it in your blood, you're going to have those days when it's frustrating. You're going to have those days when it's hard. You're going to deal with some people that aren't real nice, but you're going to run across a lot of people that are nice. It just takes time. You have to build your pipeline, get your customer base built up, and you'll be a better salesperson. Don't give up before the miracle. And selling, why is it so hard for most people? It's because we don't give it a chance. So give it a chance and go out there and sell something, okay? All right.